Hi guys, it's James. I just wanted to check in before we continue with this episode just because there's a few things we need to note. It's the holiday period, so I'm the only one in the city at the moment, but I didn't want to leave you fangers left out in the cold without an episode this season, so I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to release one of our famous lost episodes. The lost episodes were episodes that the recordings were lost. Some of them have been recovered. Others, all I have is a really bad, poor quality rip from some other weird source. So, and this is one of them. This is episode 11. Recorded this on the 24th of April 2012, and I'm putting this one up even though it's bad quality because this is probably the episode we seem to reference the most in other podcasts we've recorded since. Even though it's probably one of the worst episodes we've ever recorded. Campbell suffers through hiccups for the entire show. James, myself, hadn't slept almost at all the days prior, and I'm cranky and really taking to Fred. But we do sort of talk about some interesting topics that we've referenced past, so I thought it's important to put this up. So I just wanted to apologise for the poor quality of the audio recording. Hopefully it will make do for now, and we'll have something better in the coming week.
Here we are in the Demolition and around.
Can we get a theme song?
I thought Fred and Harry's Electro Band were going to do it.
Yeah,
We commissioned them about 2 years ago.
Okay. Oh, I've got a lot to do. I'll think about a theme song. What about that awesome mix we did, James? That was
awesome.
That was the shit. Remember when we had our one and only jam session? And I think it was gold.
You should just release it as a mixtape.
It was gold. That section you cut out.
What bit mixed out?
You cut out one section of it. It was like 5 minutes.
when
and
we
you
were
were
jamming.
On like, yeah. It was like some beat thing. That was gold.
Do you think we'd be able to scrape that out tonight? Find it?
Yeah, James, you could find it somewhere.
So I'm trying to get the sound right.
Okay, sorry.
I'll tune into the live.
All right, so dear sweet listeners, you are listening to
Fangin around
on Jimmerish FM with
James,
Fred,
and Campbell. Harry's not here tonight.
he's in Mandy.
What an exciting bunch of names we've got.
You really need to be a Tom.
I need to be a Tom
or Dick.
or Dick. Dick's a little too thrilling, I think.
Thrilling!
Yeah. Don't you think? If it was Richard, but Dick.
Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Do people name their kids Dick?
No, it's short for Richard.
Yeah, but are people now just like naming
No,
their
who
kids
would name
Dick?
their kid Dick?
How did people go from Rich to Dick?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Where's the progression?
Did people
Richo.
think some kink Richard was the
Maybe
dick?
some
head?
rhyming
Richard,
slang.
Richo, Richie,
Richie Rich Dick.
Richie Rich Stick, Dick. There you go.
Done.
That's how it happened.
Done.
Right.
Done. Solved that. Anyone see the Bob Brown special on Quanda? I know James
He
didn't.
looked a
so
little
Fred.
lonely. I don't really watch Quanda, but it's
okay.
he was just sitting there.
Yeah, it was a special. It was a big desk for just two people, wasn't it? It looked a bit out of scale.
Was he cool? Was he good?
He was the coolest. He was like a human personification of a cucumber. He was amazing.
We didn't have anyone going at him, so what did he do? He just espoused his own values. Lame.
No, everyone was having a go at him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, half the people were like, "Oh my god, Bob Brown."
I'm not really into the
half were
Quanda phenomenon.
Oh,
I don't have Twitter.
that's fair enough. Yeah, you gotta get the tweets, but it's hard when you're over on the West Coast because they're not coming much live.
No, you can watch it on ABC 24. It's live. I think.
That's true.
Couldn't you get Quanda
That's
WA? Quanda
Wakanda.
tweets? Hashtag it.
Oh yeah, get us going.
Yeah.
That's true. But it was good. And Bob Brown, man, why isn't he running this country? What's wrong?
The world is going to hell.
I was just thinking, man, if he was running this place, we'd be in a lot better shape.
Yeah, bankrupt.
Because this is the reality.
Oh, come on, don't be
Is
like
that
that.
if
That's
you're in the two major parties, your only interest It's the people who pay for your electoral campaign advertising.
But any democratic system of representative voting always tends towards two parties. The fact.
Yeah, well, why don't we merge those two parties and then get a new one in? Because they're essentially exactly the same.
Yeah, well, maybe that'll happen. I mean, it's not saying a third one cannot rise up, but the equilibrium needs to.
I think it's going to change, though. I think the internet world changes that. When we're...
No, it doesn't.
Our generation, which grew up in high school with the internet...
Internet don't do shit.
Lies.
What do you mean? No, people become more fractured. Different groups get power. That's why, we had a draw at the last election and the independents had power.
Yeah,
and that's only... It might go back to the norm this week because there'll be a backlash against the draw and people go, I'm gonna go and vote for a major party, and then I'll get no say in what happens. Because people aren't dumb enough to see that the people who voted independent got exactly what they wanted out of the election. Those seats where they had independents, they're getting the NBN, they're getting everything they want.
Yeah, but the idea is that so you turn around tomorrow and you vote independent, the independent doesn't get in, and you go, well, that was a waste of time.
No, it's preferential voting. It's preferential voting. There's never a wasted vote.
Preferential. I guess that's slightly different. I guess that's...
There is never a wasted vote. You're only a wasted vote if you put first a major party who you're just like, I might as well vote for them. That's the wasted vote because you're not saying anything. You're just a sheep that's going along with it, and people just keep on doing the same stuff and never change. People just fundamentally don't understand preferential voting.
Anyway, I was totally pumped about Bob Brown and very sad to see him go.
Who's the new leader?
He's
Is it a woman?
Yeah, it is.
A woman?
A lady. A lady in the Greens. All the Conservatives are furrowing their brows, grinding their teeth. A lady Green. My goodness. Is that worse than a gay man? Or better?
Well, we have a woman Prime Minister.
Is Bob Brown gay?
Yeah. Conservatives hate that too. Yeah, Bob Brown.
He's not gay, is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Gay ass, yeah.
You're just saying that?
No, he was totally gay. He was there with his not his husband, his partner, because he can't get married.
Really?
Thanks, Julia. Sorry, I say that in inverted commas because I love when people call her that.
Julia.
Yeah.
At my new job, there is I'm in love. There's a girl at the counter called Julie. Don't know where she's from, but she speaks French. She's how do you say bliss? Très bien. I always like going up to her and I just want to be like, Julie. But I'm like, is that sexual harassment?
Yes, and
not
you
in
get
front.
fired.
I'm not. It's just the tone of my voice. That's all.
Yeah, I dodged. No, I'd avoid
Careful.
that. Yeah, I would.
So now I'm just like, Julie.
Nah, don't.
You don't do that either.
Because there's people I know from foreign lands who are in Australia, and they've changed their names from what it is in their homeland to something that they believe will be more acceptable in Australia. So there's one guy who, these are Thomas's mates, who introduces himself to Australians as Bernard. No, as Dennis.
But his name
Dennis.
is
Bernard.
But his name is like Bernard. Something ridiculous.
But everyone knows Bernard.
Yeah, well, that's exactly. But
We'd say
you meet
Bernard,
you meet him,
but-
and he's like, "Yeah, my name's Dennis." And
But
you
is
meet him as
Bernard a
Dennis, and then
Jewish name?
you realise that everyone else in the room is referring him as Bernard, and you're like,
That's quite
"Who's-"
awkward.
And you're just like, "Well, why can't I just call you Bernard?"
If you're listening, Bernard.
No, I don't think Bernard's listening.
If
But it's
you-
just that, if it's some crazy complicated name, or pick a nickname or something. But
or a cute way to abbreviate it.
yeah, Bernie. Bernie's retarded as Dennis.
Dennis is. I always think it's odd. How do people pick?
I don't know.
I almost changed my name at the start of high school because I didn't like Fred to Nick, but didn't. Glad I didn't. What?
Nick?
What's my middle name? I was picking an arbitrary name.
No, it's Nicholas.
Yeah, well, that's as bad as Frederick.
don't act like Nick's my middle name. It's Nicholas is your middle name.
Yeah, but Nick is not as bad as Fred. In terms of arcade.
Fred is how. Has anyone ever forgotten your name's Fred?
They haven't believed my name's Fred.
Yeah, exactly. What a conversation starter. Hi, my name's Fred. Whoa! The ladies love it.
As if. The average age of someone with the name Fred, I think, is 60 plus. The average age of the name of someone with Zoe is like 8 years old. I checked that on Wolfram Alpha.
Oh, that's right. They have that age.
Yeah.
That's
Average
crazy.
age.
I've never heard that before.
I remember.
You can count
We had a Zoe in
What's
my
this on?
primary school, and it was a bit exotic because she had the.
Wolfram Alpha.
Zoe has the dots above the E. Does she have that?
No.
No.
The umlauts.
The Zoe.
The Zoe I knew
Had
claimed
dots
that
above.
you needed it, or else the name would be like
Zoe.
like toe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She
Why-
said, because I was
it's-
like, what are those? Do you actually
Maybe
need
that's
them?
what
She's like,
Zoe's
yeah.
changed the name to be most socially acceptable by removing the dots above her E.
I doubt it. The story of how she got her name is her parents
They
are
wanted to
going
call her toe.
parents are going through the name book and they couldn't decide, and then they got to Z and they're just like, all right, Zoe.
That's romantic.
Whoa. Glaring.
I sometimes. Yeah. No, I won't talk about that.
How do you use Wolfram Alpha
Are you
to?
on Wolfram Alpha?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Just type in Campbell.
That's it.
That's it. You just type in
Yeah,
your
it just
name.
knows.
I thought you had to say the popularity of the name
No,
Campbell.
it'll just come up with various statistics. about
Oh, it'll
Campbell.
come up with a bunch. I've never used this before.
It was supposed to revolutionise stuff, but it's a bit retarded.
Well, Siri uses it.
Who?
Siri.
Really?
You
Cool.
say how many kilometers a mile, it uses Wolfram Alpha.
Cool.
And all that.
Does it have graphs?
Oh wow! So it just comes up with a whole bunch of stats related to it.
You can ask it
Yeah.
all sorts of crap.
My market
gives you
cap is
facts.
10.52 billion. What? Fuck, I don't know.
Maybe I should change this.
Oh, it's assuming Campbell is a financial entity.
Ah.
Uses a surname. Here we go.
Yeah. No, given name.
Oh, it's
Fred, you're
sorry,
not
it's a
on-
given name.
That's going to be all about Clan Campbell.
Oh, the Campbells and the McDonald's. Oh. Here we go. Given name. So here's some Wolfram Alpha facts about the name.
You probably have to
Campbell.
Google Wolfram Alpha, and hopefully you spell it right, and I'll correct you.
I've spelt it wrong. I had no idea what you guys were saying. I just mashed the keyboard, and Google knew what I was talking about. And then I went to Wolfram
Campbell's
Alpha.
gone gangbusters.
Whoa, look at my name. Since the 2000s, my name is blowing up.
Don't even give
Like
a
the
shit.
world trade. So, 1 in 5,435 people are named Campbell? That seems really high.
Nah. 758.
Fred, you're not on mine.
758.
Oh, that's from the US. Okay. Alright, I believe 1 in 5,000 people are named Campbell in the US.
What's the average age?
5.
Yeah, makes sense because it's blowing up.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Censored.
So, so what's your favorite show at the moment, Campbell?
Look, favorite drama or fictional narrative is Game of Thrones. I have finished first season of The Wire. My mum gave me a whole bunch of shit about that and said, "I told you to watch that 10 years ago."
Everyone's watching The Wire. You're literally the third person this week who's been like, I've just started watching the first season of The Wire. This is like the second wave.
I think we talked about it a few weeks ago when I finished watching it, and I said I wasn't that into it. We talked about it, and I felt like I was watching something that was supposed to be good, and I've been told it's good, and I know it's good, but I'm not really that into it.
If you're not into it, you're not into it.
I'm gonna give second season a go.
I got the second season
yeah,
on
second
DVD. You can
season's
borrow
not
it.
the worst season though.
Is it?
You want to
but you
get
gotta watch
You got to wait get to end of the third season. If you don't like about end of the third season, then don't bother watching.
So I was
the last
saying,
two.
it's like after 30 hours, you'll be like, yeah, I'm starting to get into it.
Yeah, I didn't think, I was watching and I was like, wow, I know the dialogue's really good, the characters are good, the actors are good, but I just wasn't I wasn't hooked like Game of Thrones. And I know Game of Thrones is a different beast, but alright, so I'm watching Game of Thrones, loving it, second season, it's all good. And in terms of non-fictional television, or a different type of fictional, I'm really into The Voice.
voice? With your
voice.
favourite Delta Goodrum?
Really?
Delta Goodrum is my least favorite.
On like a you actually enjoy it level, or
I'm
it's so
actually
bad
into it.
it's good.
But she had cancer.
No,
She
I
survived.
don't.
You know,
I mean, I'm not a cancer denialist or anything. I totally believe she had cancer, but I'm not interested in her narrative.
so
but
what's
look-
the narrative of the voice?
Okay, the voice.
Oh,
It's-
no, I don't want to know.
No, okay, it's the same old shit. You know, people singing, blah blah blah. There's judges, right? So there are 4 judges. The gimmick is they've all got their backs turned.
Yeah, has anybody ever turned around and just been like, you can see on their faces that they made a huge mistake?
No. Sometimes they're surprised, but they're always like awesome. So there's 4 judges, right? They're listening to the performance. They can buzz in whenever they want. Their chair turns. They get to see who it is, and that means they've like put a bid in for that person to be on their team. So they're compiling teams of like a dozen or 10 voices, right? And then if more than one judge turns, then they each have to like make a pitch to the performer as to why they should be
I
the
saw
mentor.
on the ads, and Delta Goodrum's pitch was like, I got heaps of hot friends. I was like,
Yeah.
this is just a pitch.
Okay, so you've got... So in it, there's Keith Urban. He's like country western Nicole Kidman's husband, right? Keith
Yep.
Urban?
I thought it was like the first person to turn got to be the mentor.
No, not the first person. So sometimes 2 of them turn, sometimes 4 of them turn.
Well,
Sometimes
how many judges are there?
There are 4. Yeah.
Who are they?
All right, so I'm about to tell you.
Oh,
so it's
sorry.
Keith Urban, country western,
Yeah.
married to Nicole Kidman, Aussie connection, whatever.
Well,
Right?
he's Australian, right?
What's Seal's
Is he
deal?
Australian?
I think he's Australian, just he's not popular in Australia.
What?
There's no popular country music in Australia.
Keith Urban?
Like,
I thought he was from like
No,
overseas.
I'm pretty sure he's Australian.
We should probably check who these people are. See, I don't really give a shit. I'll get to why. All right?
Oh, okay. New Zealand born, but lives.
New Zealand born.
He's like Russell Crowe. He's born in New Zealand, but he's considered Australian.
I don't consider him Australian. I've watched
even
like
know where
6
the hell he
episodes
was
of this show. I thought he was American. All right, Keith Urban. Boom. But he talks about
Yeah,
you
because he began his
Aussies.
career in Australia in 1991, so he's been here.
Weird. Delta Goodrum,
Everything that Australia's famous for came from New Zealand, basically.
ex-Neighbours.
no, but she had a music career before Neighbours.
Did she have a music career before?
Yeah,
Neighbours?
it's like-
Oh,
like
no,
Neighbours
they
started.
basically got her a job on Neighbours to promote her music.
Anyway, terrible music. Then
No, amazing music. Her first album's amazing.
okay, I'm gonna be
Really?
in the terrible music.
I don't know
camp.
I haven't listened to her recent stuff.
My younger sister was obsessed with her, as opposed to
Maybe
my
you're
older
sick
sister
of-
who hated
It's
her.
amazing.
Then she got cancer, which was really tragic, and she survived. Cancer survivor, good on her. Then she released a lingerie line.
Did she?
Yes, I consider her pretty much like the frumpiest person in the world.
And she
She
became a
released a
house
lingerie
breaker.
line. You think she's frumpy?
She became a home
so
breaker. Didn't she
frumpy.
break up some guy's
I
relationship?
think so. And
How
didn't
can she be frumpy then? Surely that gives her a bit of edge.
No, imagine if your mum released a lingerie line.
No.
No offense to your
I don't want
mum.
it.
You can't expect Cancer Vibes to be like ultra perky and
What, you mean
Yeah,
she's
super
grumpy
duper.
or she's like
No, frumpy
asexual?
like no, neither. Just like mummy, like sort of like a boring mum.
in her attitude?
You know, everything. She's like so conservative. Anyway, I'm really anti Delta. Not as a human being. And that's fine, but it's her as like a personality, as a story, as a you know. So no beef with the actual human, but just with the product of Delta.
I am the opposite. I think she's just one of those few pop stars out there that actually can play instruments. She's not out there auto
Can she?
tuning.
I thought she was. I thought she was just
She's an
another
amazing piano player.
manufactured-
She is.
That's why
amazing.
she's good. She's not one of those manufactured people.
I
But
think-
they just be those found the hottest piano player above a certain level and like, let's turn her into a star.
yeah,
No,
pretty much.
she's-
Probably. And she plays with her
Because she
shoes off.
co-wrote
She's
all her
like-
music on the album.
Co-wrote.
Yeah, I know. So it's that sort of like on the edge. You know what I mean? Where it's like half fabricated, half
Yeah.
authentic. It tastes worse than either end of
Yeah.
the spectrum because it's
Yeah.
so contrived.
No,
Anyway,
you guys are so wrong.
I
I
really
didn't know
don't
you
like
realise you were such a Delta fan.
it. Neither did I.
I hate.
I've always been a Delta fan.
I just want to bitterly defend people like her who just are real musicians. You know, they're not just some
Like
crappy-
Jennifer Lopez.
I don't know what Jennifer Lopez's career is.
The
but,
way I walk, the way I talk, the clothes.
you know, I would choose Delta over so many other crap. You know that I see around any day.
Okay, there's her. then the next guy, I think his name's Noel or something, and I think he's from Good Charlotte, maybe?
Yeah.
From some punk band.
Oh, really?
Wears like
he's
a
never,
pork
he's
pie
never in
hat,
ads, is he?
all tats.
Because I only see Keith Urban,
No,
Seal,
I don't
and
think
Can I show you a
Spoiler.
YouTube video clip?
Yes, if you'd like to. He's actually quite funny. I have no idea what sort of music.
Can your computer handle?
Yeah, just put it on the lowest quality. He's actually quite funny, alright? Tiny little white dude, kind of punky, and he comes from a background that's really different from the other three, which is cool. Okay. Then he is the gold seal. And that's a play on words, because the last dude is Seal. Alright? I don't know a single song this guy sings.
Oh, you do.
Kiss
know
from a
his-
Rose?
Kiss from a Rose.
Okay.
His one song he's ever done.
that
Okay,
song.
he's got one song, alright?
But it's one of the greatest songs of all time.
Put it back to the start.
Oh,
I was
Seal.
driving around the airport the other day and it came on the radio and I was just like pumping up, bumping. I be a kiss from a rose from the moon. Copyright not intended.
Okay. And Seal is pretty much the reason why I watch this show. He is like... I don't even know what he's like. He's like some sort of god.
Yeah.
He's incredible. Everything he
You
says...
just want to.
the way he
he's on
looks-
screen, you just like you can't keep your eyes away.
Yeah, you can't take your eyes off him. The way he moves, the way he looks, the things he says, and he, like, whenever any other, pretty much, whenever anyone else turns around to bid on someone and he's there, he'll get them. He's got this way of talking.
Yeah,
and he's got the
yeah.
British accent and the way he looks.
Isn't he
And he's
going
like-
out with someone, Victoria's Secret model?
No, they
Bloom?
got divorced.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
that.
did
He
they?
came,
But they
I think
were
the reason
like-
he came to Australia to do this show was to get away
Oh, I
from...
didn't realise. Hadn't they been married forever?
Yeah, yeah.
That
It
was
was
like
like-
really long term.
Yeah, it was like 10 years or something.
Yeah. But he does this
For
thing.
Hollywood, it was a big, long marriage.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty stable. And does this thing where he says, what does he say? I'm going to tell you something. And then he
Yes.
tells them, like, how awesome they are, or
Yeah.
something like, you know, there's nothing more I can teach you. Your voice is perfect. But what I can do is show you how to be a star. And then they're like, oh, fuck! And then they got to be with Seal. And then all the other judges are like, oh, shit, Seal's done it again! Ah! And Seal's just the shit. And then a couple of episodes ago, like, you know, all the judges, they sit there and they're pondering this, like, you know, the voices, and some of them. Keith Urban always looks like he's, like, either taking a shit or he's smelt someone else's shit. And he's like, and you're like, dude, are you enjoying that or not? I can't tell. You know that strain when you're squeezing out a big one? And you're like, he looks like that all the time. Anyway, Seal's there and he's just loving it. And you can feel it. It looks like he's getting a blowjob or something. And you saw that clip. It looked like he was. And then he just like
For the clip.
jumps up and he
for the
slams
audience.
on this button, and then he's out there and he gets up on the stage and he's like rocking with this person, and you're totally not supposed to do that. And it was awesome. And Seal
Who's
was like,
this? Seal did that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, what? And there was this like hot girl, and he was all like, holy shit.
The girl on stage was hot girl, or the one of the backstage dancers?
You know, the
Go outside, just like dance with some dance. I was like, yes.
Well, he might have just been like, "Hey, I'm Seal.
Seal's so
I like that
fucking
girl
cool.
so hot. I'm gonna go get her right now in the middle of the show."
Seal's like the best thing ever. I just watched this show for Seal.
You never
Um,
even heard his music though.
I don't care. I believe.
But didn't you? When you isn't this
Like, I've always known about Seal, but
Is he one of those
should
guys
get
that's
into
he's more of a producer?
I think he might be now. I get
Yeah.
that vibe. Seal, Kiss from a Rose.
Oh, you know that. It's the
I'm
best
sure
song
I
ever.
You
must
know
know this.
that.
It's
Oh,
the
it's the
theme
best
song to
song
Batman
ever?
Forever. The best movie ever.
What? Seal, Kiss from a Rose. He did a Batman. He did a Batman theme. That's pretty killer. So we're gonna.
I've been kissed by.
That was on Community and it got stuck in my head. Something.
Here, it's gonna come on.
Did
now.
they do it? Oh, in the Glee episode, was it?
Nah, the Dean and that other dude.
Oh, they did the
Lip
karaoke.
sync. Yeah,
Yeah,
karaoke,
lip sync.
yeah.
Yeah,
Karaoke,
okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You watching the video clip? It's got intercut with Batman Forever stuff.
Yep.
Oh man, best video clip ever.
And also, there's Seal singing with the bat signal behind him, which is pretty awesome. So, totally watch The
Anyway,
Voice.
go home,
just
put that
for
on full
Seal.
volume on headphones, and just enjoy life.
I'll give it a shot now.
Now, the show tonight was the final episode of the blind auditions. Next week, or next week. What day is it? Tuesday. No, tomorrow it starts the battles, I think. So what happens is each judge or mentor has like a team of 10 or 12 people. I forget how many. Now, the next phase is they have to train them in singing these songs, and then they have two of their mentees battle one another in this like boxing ring, singing the same song, and then the mentor has to pick who sung it better, and the other person gets kicked out.
Oh, so
Within their own group.
Within their own group, the mentor has to pick which of their mentees gets kicked out. It sounds way harsh.
Of the whole show or just the box?
The whole show.
Oh, wow.
But they must have like 40 people if they're only doing 10.
There's shitloads of people. No, they've got 12 each. So 12 times
48.
12 each. Okay.
48. So it's 48, and then over the next, I don't know, week or 2 weeks, it gets half of those people are going to go.
So if all the good people are going to Seal, then all the people will get cut out? Is that what happens?
Well, I don't know. I mean, other people... Seal doesn't... Seal's got particular people that he wants. So there's good people that are in other groups because they, like they're rock singers or something, or country singers, and Seal's not interested in that shit. He's interested in, like, fine, sexy music.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm totally into The Voice now. Sold on it.
It does seem good. Like, I got interested in the American version because I had Christina Aguilera.
I just had one look.
Oh, right.
I saw a stage. I saw people
I
in
never
chairs,
watched the US version. But
I thought, is Australia's Got Talent?
There's two things that I find refreshing about it. One, there's no, like, obnoxious judge. You know how, like, every talent show's got some judges like, ugh, you're fucking fat and ugly dyke. That was shit. Go home and shave, There's always some judge that's, like, being the hard man. This isn't like, there's no one doing
it's
that.
why I like MasterChef as well.
I think
all the judges are just like
isn't
nice people.
The other,
wanna hang out.
Australia's Got Talent that's got the guy that Delta home broke with. And it's got, Kyle Sandland, and they have these videos of him, like, walking to the camera. I'm just like, oh, you don't put a fat guy doing that.
That was odd. I guess he'd be the jerk judge if we started the first show.
I can talk because I'm a fat guy. I'm allowed to. It's like the N-word.
You're not Carl Sanderland's fat. Take that to the bank.
Yeah, so maybe. I don't have time to check it out, but I'll watch the ads.
I'll watch ads.
Keep it up with it. They have it on catch up. What channel's
Look, I'm
on?
trying to... I think it's on Channel 9. I'm trying to
Channel 9
find
have catch
the
up?
official
I think only
website
7
of
and
it.
SBS.
And I can't find... It's all like 9 MSN. What does that even mean?
Oh, it's Channel 9's Microsoft team up, just like 7 and Yahoo are teamed up.
Oh.
It's Google.
Google's independent, man. Yeah, Google can't be bought out except by China.
Are you guys excited about Project Glass?
Project Glass. I haven't heard
Please
of that.
explain.
Google put out a video asking for input about what if we made glasses that like beamed content onto your eyeballs so you saw stuff, Google
Yeah,
stuff
I'm
in the
totally
real
into that.
That sounds dangerous.
Do I just say yes or no? Is that what they mean?
No, I mean,
Everyone's going to go, yes.
I thought you would be like,
You said no! You just said,
Okay.
oh, that would be dangerous, no! And then you said, of course everyone's going to say yes.
I'm an exception.
but do you actually want
Like,
stuff?
anybody who's going to fill out the survey is going to say yes, because no one would fill it out to say no.
I guess so, right. Exactly, that's why it's stupid. That's why all the, the hipster Apple fans are like, oh, Google sucks, if you ask what the customer wants, they'll just want a faster horse, blah, blah, blah. But what did you, would you actually want this?
Not. Oh.
You're saying no, but you always say no first up, Fred.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think you've ever just said yes.
I'm going to say
It's
yes.
so rare. It's like
No,
3
what
times
is
it's
it?
ever happened.
It projects it onto your eye. It's like a mini screen.
No, but imagine they could overlay anything.
Yeah, so what,
And you know
what
what
would
they're
you
gonna overlay?
want, Fred? Okay,
Ads.
let's start off. What would you want overlaid?
Nothing.
Nothing.
What would you
There's
want?
nothing.
What would
Oh,
you want?
nothing. What about if you could fill the world around you with naked ladies writhing and rubbing oil, and no one else would know
Do
you were
that
looking
with
at that?
carry an iPad.
Yeah, but what
No.
if you're actually looking at it?
Yeah.
This is different.
Okay, so
No,
but
it's
even
just
then,
one
that'd be
idea.
a horrible distraction.
Oh.
Right.
What if you could overlay World of Warcraft around you?
No,
And you had an iPhone, and you could sync.
Are we
so
talking? No, are we talking like you're wearing these 24/7? You get out of the house, you put on the glasses. And thing. Are we talking like, okay, I'm going to chill out with my glasses for a bit?
No, yeah, you wore them all.
So if it's all the time, then no, because it's like...
No, it's like you have them on whenever you have your mobile phone with you, basically.
No, always, then.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to sleep in them. It's not a TV glasses just to watch TV. They're actually to put information into the world. But like, say you went to a party and it's all these people you've technically met before, but it's hard to remember names, but it could project their Facebook profile onto their chest. So, I might go, hey, it's Jeff. Hey, Jeff, how's it going? I do remember you. And it tells you whether you've met before.
No, because
they go, you're wearing this fucking Google glasses.
It knows that you've met them before. So
but you should know.
There's none of that awkward. There's none of that. No, but you've never been in that situation when you're like, oh god, I know this person, but I was probably drunk when I met them, and I'm like, oh, what's their name? I've started a new job at Avis. I met everyone, learnt their name, but there's like, I've got the new person coming has to learn 40 names, and I can't keep track of everyone. And I love to be able to wear that at work and just be able to say, hey.
But that's one of those things where, okay, but then
because it's awkward to ask your name the second time,
and you're just useless. You'd be useless without them. You just sit there every day. Information goes into your eyeballs.
Was it Plato that was concerned about the lack of knowledge, lack of memory that was caused by writing? Maybe. I think he was. I think it was Plato who's concerned. He was like, "This." So
I definitely find that with shopping lists. If I don't create any shopping list, I have a better chance of getting everything than if I create a shopping and I leave those items off. I have no chance of remembering the items that are off the shopping list because my mind's focused purely on what is on the shopping list.
Yeah, so that's my point. So if you have these glasses telling you to do everything, you don't need to know anything anymore.
They said
that we already have some
book.
Information.
Yeah, but there's but you know it's going to be ads.
Fred?
Google's not going to do this because they love consumers. They're a company. They want to make money. So it's going to be full of ads.
Right, but, okay.
What if you Google pay $1 for a Wikipedia ad?
If the ad's intrusive, no one will wear them, Fred.
Yeah, so they'll strike a balance, but it's still not going to be
but they'll probably have useful... Like, you use Google Maps, that has...
But how is that going to be more useful? Because it's not going to... There's no...
Google Maps points out where the ATM is if NAB is sponsored.
But there's no interface, right? So you're going to have to get out your phone and be like, go to Google Maps, and then you put your phone in your pocket and it comes up on your glasses. Okay,
no, what if there's a microphone?
No, because you can you can look to the left, look to the right to navigate, or...
Does that even exist? Oh, yeah, that stuff doesn't
There could be pupil recognition.
There's eye tracking now. You can get a computer that controls how you scroll by looking
up. There's like a taskbar at the top. And you can look at something for more than half a second, and it selects that. So you can select Google Maps, boop, comes up, select.
But this is an issue. Like, would you actually...
I don't think I'd want it. It's...
If you Google Game to free, you would never use them?
I'd try it, but it seems a bit...
Because I realise Fred is probably the only person I know who doesn't have a smartphone.
Yeah.
So obviously you're coming from an outsider where you don't even have instant access to Google everywhere you are to Google a question.
No, but I'm usually not more than a minute away from an internet connection. I don't know, it just seems a little intrusive.
Wouldn't you like to be... I would just like to know... I would just like to know the speed I'm going in my car without having to look down at the odometer.
But you could do that with...
If you can't do that, you probably shouldn't be driving.
Yeah, I agree. You even have an Echo where it's like deliberately...
If you can't monitor the speed you're driving and the environment around you and operate your car, you shouldn't be driving.
No,
I'm sorry. I hear that argument all the time from drivers.
Because you're going up and down hills. I don't have perfect control. Probably 1% of people have perfect control of the accelerator.
1%
keep
of
the
people should be
speed,
driving.
maintain the speed when you're going downhill after coming up a hill.
Yeah, but just because it's on a... It doesn't mean that you can see everything that's on the screen. You know, it's like... I can put a screen right up to your face, but that doesn't mean you can see the whole screen. It's like if it projects it into your eye, it doesn't mean that you'll be able to see all the information at once. Your brain can only interpret a very small amount.
No, because it projects it into the world.
Yeah, but you still have to look at it. So what? It's going to project this massive number.
No, but if it's like, okay, because I'm trying to be a safe driver, right? I'm looking at the car in front of me so I don't run into it. I want the speed projected on its bumper so I know what the speed I'm doing so I don't get done for doing 86 in an 80k zone. Just because I'm doing the same speed as everyone else and I don't want to get, because that's what you
like
do
the
when
level of, like,
when
you're
you're a
just turning into a
driver.
vegetable.
All you care about is keeping and maintaining safe distance, right? And you sit down, you look down, and the driver and Fred is trying to do 90, and you look down, I'm doing 86. I get a speeding fine just because I was trying to watch the road and be a safe driver. That's bullcrap.
Nah. You should be able to do both.
You shouldn't have to look at your speedometer every 5 seconds.
Don't cars in America have head-up displays?
Lots of cars have head-up displays, but
Most of them have them at the base screen, not.
it's not.
So it
very,
doesn't help.
It's not very useful, and it
I
doesn't.
mean, the
work that
Echo
well
has
in
this
the
big
daytime.
display right there, but
Yeah.
you still have to look down. Why can't you just project it on the car in front of you?
I reckon that'd be more dangerous.
You want to
Why?
have you want to be projecting your speed on the back
No,
of someone
virtually.
else.
Virtually.
Virtual protection.
Actually on the car.
Sorry, I thought you were proposing a new system of mounting projectors at the front of cars. No, I think you just need to get better at monitoring
Yeah.
your speed. Multitasking, I
Yeah,
think, is pretty
multitasking.
essential if you're going to be driving a vehicle.
I'd rather not be. I'd rather not risk
Drive.
that. I'd rather give everyone. I don't trust people to be good at multitasking. I'd rather everyone's watching the road rather than speed limit and being a safe driver.
So with this Google thing, you're going to be able to put it into like driving mode where it turns off all the ads, so it's like you're not distracted.
I think so. Like Google, no one would buy it if it was just full of ads. Why would you buy a $200 pair of glasses if it's just going to
Are
protect
these
you
things
with
actually
ads?
real, or is this like fantasy world?
Well, I mean,
It's like Google
the only
saying,
person who has them in the world is Sergey Brin, is the head of Google. You know.
Cool.
Is he just watching porn with it?
Probably.
I don't think it's actually TV. It's just information. It's like a heads-up display, but it's on you all the time.
I don't know. I'd have to give it a shot.
Does it monitor your health and your ammo? That'd be useful. Just throwing it out there.
Anyway, I'm not saying that I'm that into it. It's just
Didn't you want some product that tells you when to
Do a
eat?
shit? No, it's do a shit.
yeah.
No,
I would
it
love
was-
a product that would tell me when to
Yeah.
eat.
No, it was do a shit. It was.
No,
he
that was
wanted to
my
know-
example.
Was it?
His was like, was it alcohol? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's
it was
right.
alcohol.
So you know that you're at your peak performance,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
know it tells you when to have a drink to stay at the peak performance without going out of control.
What do you mean by performance in that context? With the
As in
ladies, or
not going, not freaking out and going.
All right.
I know that with red wine, right? I don't go out of control because I guess the speed I drink it, it's not out of control. But if you're having shots and stuff like that, you can.
Well, that's
You're like,
designed
oh,
to
let's
get
just.
out of
It's so
control.
easy to just go. Let's have another shot, but then it's too much,
I've
and then
seen
you
you out of
start
control
feeling
on beer, though.
bad, or you go out of control. You'd rather much have a thing where it's just like you flick a switch, you feel the goodness of being drunk, but not being, blacking out and.
You could buy some pure alcohol and measure up 10% exactly, and that's I figured it out with my drinking rate. I can just drink.
Why
this.
can't I just have a watch that can sense the alcohol in my blood coming
Why
through my
can't I
sweat?
be not responsible
Yeah.
for any of my behavior?
Why can't computers just
No, because once you're drunk, you're not. You lose that sense of responsibility. So if a device saying, "Hey, you'll
But isn't
enjoy
that
being
the-
drunk more if you wait 10 minutes to have that next shot rather than."
Would you pay attention to that?
No, but the whole
machine?
the definition of out of control is
No.
you don't pay attention to it. So it's like some computers like you're out of control.
No, because you have no
You
idea.
were like, damn right I am. Whoa!
You have no idea what's going on, right?
You have no idea. Don't use the general. I say
The
me.
reason people,
have no idea.
everything about drug addiction is trying to find that first feeling you get, when you have your first drink. It's just, oh, that's nice, right? And you can maintain that if you do it.
You can't by
responsibly.
definition. You have to have more.
No, but yeah, you have to keep drinking more, but it tells you to space it out, right? You would enjoy stuff way more.
I don't think you pay attention to it because you don't pay attention to other people.
Yeah.
Like when your friends are like, "You're out of control," you're like,
Yeah.
"Nah, I'm in control."
When have you ever, drinking alcohol, had someone saying, monitoring what you're drinking and knowing exactly how much you've drunk and ever told you? It's a
People
experience
say
you've never had.
slow down, and it's like pff,
No, if they've said slow down, it's already too late. That's what this device says. You'll never get someone saying slow down because you're going at the right speed.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But they not necessarily said slow down like you're too drunk, slow down. They might have watched you.
I don't know
stop
why
2
you guys
glasses
are
of
against
wine.
this. Wouldn't you want that perfect high all the time without overdoing it or underdoing it?
But you.
Why not have technology help you achieve this?
I don't. Yes. It's something. I just feel it's something you should be able to do yourself.
No.
It's like I
It's
said. This
never
is where I came to
happened.
my example.
It's never
like-
happened.
It's like if you need to do a poo, but it's a little bit too soon. But you think it's going to come out, so you go to the toilet, and it's like a bit of a struggle. But if you wait too long, it's too much because you feel uncomfortable. You need some computer to like optimize. Like you should really
Why
be able
not?
to do a shit.
Why not?
Because it's like you just figure that out
You
yourself
know-
for 27 years.
You know, I don't. Maybe you have a good metabolism, friend, but me, who doesn't, right? By the time you feel hungry, right, it's too late. Your body's already storing fat. You need something to tell you, all right, it's time to eat.
Don't.
And you want it customized to you. Like, you can sit there and...
Your body is the ultimate machine
Yeah.
to tell you what your
All it's going
body
to do is
knows.
measure some hormone that tells
Do
you how
do you guys know
feel.
anything about this stuff, right?
about doing poos.
Yeah.
No, about being hungry, right?
Nah.
You shouldn't ever feel hungry, right?
I mean, you should.
No.
You want to live in a constantly, like, sated state. Just totally just like, I'm exactly enough drunk. Like, I've gone to the toilet.
Why wouldn't you want that?
I mean, exactly.
Why would you sit there and go, oh, let's take...
Oh, it's horrible.
No, but that's it. It's too late. Your body says it's too late. It is too late. It is. Don't you know anything about this stuff?
What do you mean by too late?
Because your body, right? As soon as you run out of food, right? Your body starts going, oh crap! You're not keeping to your regular protein. I better start storing fat just in case you don't get your next meal, right?
I didn't think that's true. What, you telling me 5 minutes? You're like, it's like 12:30. I'll let you half an hour.
This is what Stephanie Rice, Olympic 2-time medalist who manages her meal to the second for 4 years at a time, told me. I'll believe her over you. On Twitter,
A swimmer.
I'll believe you over. You're like, oh, I don't think that's true.
Is she qualified in anything
Yes!
but swimming?
She does. That's her whole life. Is managing her nutrition.
Swimming. Oh, boy.
No, she's the professional athlete that goes Olympics. They know everything about the nutrition.
She's also a homophobe.
Is she?
Yeah.
No, well, she said the F word.
Yeah.
Does that make them a homophobe?
Yeah. She lost her Jaguar sponsorship, didn't she? That would have hurt.
Yeah, but some people say the F word because they think it's a word to describe crappy people.
Yeah, but those people are idiots.
How do you know she's a homophobe?
You shouldn't use that word in that context.
In that context.
I'm pretty sure I've possibly on record have you guys on tape using the F word.
I've grown since then. I've
Yeah.
made mistakes.
Well, how do you know
But
she
this is
hasn't?
between us, or, you know.
Right?
She must have learned a lesson.
Yeah,
She's a
exactly.
public
She's
figure.
learned a lesson, so why hold against it? If she's out there campaigning against gay marriage and stuff
like
like that, then
Tony
let's
Abbott.
blame her, right?
I'll blame her. Wow, that really hurt. Oh, Fred, you need to wait for the...
Oh, I'm not used to
Shake
box
it
line.
off. Haven't you ever used a urinal before, Fred? Obviously, you need an app.
a computer to tell me, you're shaking too many times, it's turning into a wank.
What's the rule?
What's
Two
the app
shakes.
say?
Oh, look,
Oh,
I don't
it's okay.
think 2
3
shakes is
a
in.
wank.
Nah,
No,
I
3
reckon
shakes.
I shake the shit out of it because I don't want any piss in my pants. Oh, shit.
You're doing it wrong, Cal.
No,
Yeah,
I think
fair
2's inadequate.
Yeah, I
2's
agree.
woefully inadequate. Shake it.
I
Shake
think
it
it's
as
a
much as
time
you
thing,
need.
maybe 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think
If
more
you're
time.
getting
Vigorous. Really give it a shake, and then whoever spread that myth is making a lot of stinky underpants in the world. I reckon. Oh, I feel really ill.
Do you have to come for it to be a wank?
No.
No. It has to be rubbing with intent.
Yep. Turgid.
Turgid.
I don't know. Check the app.
Yeah, do you want a wanking app as well?
Yeah, to tell you when to wank. Why not?
I don't know, James. Why not?
Run out of answers.
If you can't think of a good reason
I know
not
it's
to,
more
just do it.
enjoyable if you do it at the right time. So why not? Let's have that all the time if technology allows us to do
What
that.
if you feel like a wank and the computer says don't?
Yeah, it's suboptimal.
Yeah.
Well, that's your choice. You still have a choice.
No.
No,
You don't.
because then you're
Because
ruining
then you're
everything.
ruining it. Because then you're out of control. You can't.
But
crashes,
if you trust
celibate.
if you trust the technology and go, oh, thank goodness I waked it. That was the best wank ever because I waited.
Yeah, but what if you got a real thrill out of like?
Naughty. Oh, just a cheeky wank.
Oh well, then you'll still enjoy it.
Glasses off.
You'll still
Put them in
enjoy
Elias's
it.
case.
You'll still enjoy it.
Yeah,
But if you go out and have
out
a-
of control.
No, but if you have it, because you go out, you have a bad night, right? You sit there and go, oh, I should have listened to the thing. And so next time you'll listen to the glasses or whatever.
What if you get hooked on cheating on the glasses?
Yeah.
But then you still enjoy yourself, so what do you care?
But then
you're
you go
out of
out, you're out of control.
Well, you can
It's
be-
suboptimal.
If you want to be out of control, that's fine.
No, it doesn't work. The whole point is you can't go out of control. That's the whole point of it. To stop you going out of control. And then you're like, I'm going to have a little
yeah,
drink
but
on the
people
side. You go
don't want
control.
out of control. People want that optimum drunk because you
got to either obey the app.
The great
strictly.
drunken nights you remember that are great are the ones where you just drank enough so you were tipsy and
No, but they-
you were socially lubricated so you felt comfortable talking, but you didn't go out and kill a hooker. You know.
But no. Because
But if you're like a psycho and you want to go out and kill hookers while you're drunk, then and you come home like, oh, that was a great night, killed a hooker.
Don't get the app.
That's fine.
Probably don't get the app.
But you can't. If you're going to do it, you got to do it properly. It's like going on a diet.
Pardon? Yeah, but that helps manage your diet. Gives you a goal. You set goals. It gives you a goal saying, oh, just wait another 20 minutes and have that second shot. You will enjoy the drunkenness so much more and you'll follow it.
But you're saying that sometimes you should.
Setting goals in life is always a great thing. If you sit there and don't set goals, you sit around, you waste your life going, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it blah, 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 blah. It's never good. It's better to have these things, and it's rather, if you have a little AI system that's telling you to, you know, based on what we know about you, you enjoy this the most, you know, you do it. Why not have that? You can just not wear the glasses if you want to go out of control, just live life. But I bet you people will go, I want the glasses because I have a great time when I use them.
But what about spontaneity? Haven't you had great nights where you have just gotten absolutely hammered?
No, not out of control, hammered. Because you don't remember it. You never, because it's either...
Oh, well, I usually remember, you know.
You don't appreciate it. Like the nights that I've had a great time was where I was in control, where I was just having, you know, the occasional drink, and it's usually by accident. Like, oh, we ran out of alcohol, so we had to wait until we got to the next liquor store to pick up something new, or went to the next pub, and it's been managed for me accidentally. So why not have technology helps you do that when you have unlimited source of alcohol, and you can apply that to anything.
Like doing turds.
Yeah. I'll have it a wank. I say if it feels good, do it.
Watches? Did anyone get that Yuri Gagarin watch?
No, but you know how we're talking about e-ink watches, how I was telling that's the next thing?
Oh, yes.
That Kickstarter, there's a new Kickstarter for e-ink watch. It broke all the record books. It's now raised $6 million after only
What?
asking 100,000
It's got...
in 2 weeks since we last did the...
What's good about an e-wing? E-ink. It's just really thin.
No, it's like paper, so that there's no... It fits in the sun. It looks just as good.
Yeah, but that's LEDs look like that anyway.
No, you put them in the sun, they go clear, don't they?
Nah, not really. No,
But they say-
I had a problem reading my watch in the sun.
I haven't wear it a watch. I remember back in the day, mine didn't, and you know it's more battery efficient as well.
Yeah, well, nobody has a problem with watch battery life,
No, but if you have Bluetooth in there so you can control, other stuff.
Yeah, but change from...
You still have an old style watch.
Yeah,
so
I know. I was just thinking that. It's like...
people want a watch that answers their phone now,
Yeah, but the difference between... if it's a difference between
Did those
like LED
Did
and...
those nano watches get? Are they being delivered yet?
Or the bands for the Nano. Yeah.
What's a
I
nano?
thought that was pretty cool.
The guy on this, my co-host on the side, Gus Yagan, he has one. He wears it.
You plug a nano one, iPod Nano.
Yeah, but it's stupid because it doesn't have Bluetooth on, so you still have to have a cable running from your arm to your things to listen to music. It's really awkward. Your arms on a little wire.
No, that's fucking stupid.
When you can send audio over Bluetooth now, so why can't you have Bluetooth headphones and use it as a watch?
Because that would use a shitload of battery, though, I think.
Yeah, but couldn't you have it plugged into your bloodstream?
Probably, yeah.
So it was
draining energy.
Draining electricity from the...
I mean, I don't know. There's Bluetooth 4 has come out recently, and that's I don't know if that can send audio over, but it's a lot lower, uses a lot less battery. But it's like, what's the point of having a Nano? It's not as good as a real watch, and you still can't use it as a music player because it's too, if you go like that, your headphones pop out.
You should just keep it as like a fob watch. So you take it out, check the time, and put it back.
Right, that's just using it as a normal iPod, though.
Yeah, as a fob watch iPod. It's different.
Do you have the hiccups?
No, I do. I've had them for ages, actually. It was all that laughing about. It's hurting me. Everything has just been splitting my guts tonight.
That noise in the background is Campbell's.
That
Please
whirring.
filter that
10-year-old
out
computer. Is it 10 years old yet?
It's coming up on 10 years old. It's a PowerBook.
G4 12-inch.
G4 12-inch, yes, classic. And
We probably got it in 2003, maybe?
I think it was 2003. Yeah, I think it was 2003. And
World's oldest computer.
it is pretty anciano, and I love it to death.
That's what's amazing about the whole G4. G4 computers just didn't break down, really.
Mine's still going.
I mean,
Your G4 iBook?
Yeah. White one.
Oh, that's right. Zoe's got
iBook. No, I don't have a charger, so nobody's got it.
They didn't have MagSafe back then.
They didn't.
You haven't looked on eBay?
Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it.
mine doesn't have a mag.
I should ask my dad, because I know because he still uses the G4. Buys replacements from eBay. From Hong Kong, you get them pretty cheap.
Does he
They're
still
only
use a
like
G4?
Yeah. He's like, I don't need a computer. I only use Excel once a month.
I'm going to take a break while I deal with these hiccups.
I'll give you $1 if you hiccup again.
I did.
No, but it was from now.
Could have bought a can.
Does that work?
I don't know, that's fine.
If you try and
no,
hiccup.
No, it's just... I don't know. I don't think it's psychological. I think it's just
I
your
got to get
body.
into Seal again. Do you do any other music other than Kiss Virus?
I think that's the one. I think that's the only... Because they advertised a greatest hits CD on during the ad break to an episode of The Voice.
Oh, really? That's so
And they were just
cheap.
like featuring that song. And I was like, oh, I think I know that song. And that was it. And I was like, wait. I was waiting for more songs and there was nothing. There was nothing.
It's like
So
Michael
you guys
Bolton.
been watching Girls?
No.
I hate you for
No.
I've heard it's quite not good.
You didn't watch it with Zoe?
Zoe didn't really like it. Emily thought it was alright.
It's a strange show. You guys should check it out.
Maybe I will. There's new Louis Theroux.
I know. I haven't watched it yet.
No, neither right.
Louis.
It was on. He was when his show was obviously probably on Britain Live. He was trending on Twitter
Really?
worldwide.
It's pretty cool. Have you guys watched Sunday Best? It's my new
No.
thing. It's just documentaries on ABC on a Sunday
Oh
night.
yeah, I watch it now and then.
Did you watch it last night? 2
No.
nights ago?
I don't watch real TV. It's only if it's on because it's got a hot girl on AB's
Yeah,
iView.
it's called Caroline Best or whatever, so she calls it Sunday Best.
And she introduce shows?
She has like...
5
she
seconds.
stands there for 5 seconds in a pretty dress. She's quite pretty.
Is Carolyn Best
She
on
just
Twitter?
says, like,
Is she the one that introduces all
Is
of
it Caroline
the
or
movies and stuff?
Carolyn?
no, I don't know if it's Caroline or anything. It's something best. She's like, hi, I'm something best. And this is Sunday Best. And then she talks for about a minute, 30 seconds on the documentary.
What happens if she gets paid for that? Does she have to pick you out though?
I don't know. I don't know what she does.
But she does all introductions to all the movies?
It's called it's documentaries on a Sunday night called Sunday Best.
Okay.
Is that the girl from Q&A? Not Q&A. Letters and numbers. Who's the hottie?
Sunday was one of the worst
What?
days.
Sunday Best or
Sunday Best
Letters
versus
and
Letters and Numbers. I'll give
Sunday.
you time to Google.
Sunday was
Oh, we're
one of the
actually gonna do
worst.
this.
Well, you don't have to do it if you want.
Sorry, James is telling us about trying to tell us about the worst Sunday he ever had.
Yeah, worst Sunday I ever had was this Sunday.
Tell us.
Perth Glory made the grand final of the A League, and unexpected, total surprise.
Total surprise.
So I was quite prepared. I was had psychologically prepared for them to be beaten 4-0, 3-0, 2-0. Didn't matter. But instead, they were robbed in the 94th and 26th second mark when there was meant to be a 90-minute game of 4 minutes added on. So it was 26 seconds over what we expected the umpire to blow his whistle. He awarded a dubious penalty to the other team, giving them the win. So if you're this and the team that won was Brisbane, so obviously all Perth Glory fans around Australia were devastated. If you're a Brisbane fan and you don't find that a hollow victory, then you don't have a soul. Basically, you're the definition of an arsehole, of the worst people on earth that would who are the people in Germany supporting the Holocaust, right? Are the people who are like, oh, well, umpire called it, fair's fair. You basically caused the Holocaust. I'm calling it, you're backdating you to a Holocaust thing.
So they were Nazis. You're calling them Nazis.
Anyway, why did I get into this? So yeah, a bad day at the office. But that's 3 out of 4 West Australian teams that have made it to the grand final and lost. Perth Heat's the only team that's won this year.
What else?
Perth Scorchers, the cricket team, lost the grand final.
It's the
Perth
game.
Wildcats just today lost the grand final.
So the Eagles this year, James.
Yeah, hot tip is the Eagles are going to lose the grand final, basically. What's the other team?
I don't know. Netball?
Glory, Scorchers, and Wild... Oh, yeah, 3. Perth Heat did win, though, so...
What's Perth Heat?
Baseball.
Oh, baseball.
But, yeah, anyway, side note is the lady on the Fox Sports team. I bought Fox Sports just for this month, just to watch the finals. Mel McLaughlin. Insanely hot. So... almost worth the price of admission, And knows the stuff
I've
as
still
well.
got hiccups.
What have you been doing?
Neil deGrasse Tyson just tweeted,
Oh, Neil deGrasse.
just an FYI.
Oh, you've been following
physics, there's such a thing as a flux and such a thing as a capacitor, but there's no such thing as a flux capacitor.
It's true.
So does time end when the universe ends, Fred? Is time a limited resource?
I think it just depends how you define time.
They don't know it yet. There's no evidence to
It's
say
like how
that
you
time
define
stops.
the universe ends. They don't know how the universe is going to end.
Yeah, so why do they have these shows like that Brian Cox shows that's talking about the universe ending, but they don't really know?
No, he's talking about heat death, which is something they do know. We've been through this last week.
Yeah, we talked about this last week.
I think that's bad propaganda. It's kind of like the Catholic Church going out and make a documentary about how gays are crap.
No, it's
It is
not
nothing
like that.
like that.
Yeah, but it's avoiding the
but I
fact
just have to say something controversial.
that's what they're trying. Yeah, exactly. They're trying to gain hits by saying this is how the universe will end, but they have no idea.
No, but they're trying to find out this is how it could end. That's what they're saying.
No, but how do we know it could end? Because
that's like if you think about that logic is based on science from I don't know 100 years ago, 200 years ago. 100 years ago, thermodynamics. No, it's not fancy Einstein relativity, crazy cosmological stuff. That's just like if you have a closed system, nothing gets in, nothing gets out. Entropy of a closed system will always increase over time,
right?
Which means things just disintegrate into random motion. That's all the argument's based on.
But I think this is doing a disservice to science by not acknowledging the infinite.
That doesn't even make any sense. What What do you mean by that?
Well, if the science can't explain what a boundary is and what's on the inside of it, then we assume the universe is infinite.
No, the universe at the moment is 13.7 billion light years across, because that's how far...
How do you know? Why?
Because that's how far the light...
What if we get a new telescope in 20 years that can see further?
Okay, that's based on the cosmic microwave background radiation. So, when the universe started, it was really, really hot, and then as the universe expands, it cools down.
Yeah.
Right? So the temperature of the universe at the moment is 3.7 degrees Kelvin. So if you do the maths,
But what if
you
we're
can work
in
backwards and go, it's 13.7 billion
right,
years
but,
across.
you know, Perth goes up to, you know, it went up to 20 degrees
No,
a
no,
day,
no, no.
but in New York
No,
it was
it's
21
not that
degrees.
kind of temperature. It's the cosmic microwave background radiation, which is the photons left over from the Big Bang are still flying around, but because the universe has expanded, they've effectively cooled down.
Right.
So they take a telescope up in space and they point it into just blackness. It's like there's no stars, just blackness.
Yeah.
And it records a temperature, which is called a black body radiation, which is basically if something has a temperature, it emits radiation.
So what if we went 13 billion years in the direction they pointed and put a camera and then looked out the same direction we're looking at?
Well, it would take you 13.7 billion years to get there.
Yeah, so, it's not important?
No, so by the time you've reached 13.7 billion years there, the light that can reach that spot will now be a circle, which is whatever it is. 20.
So time cycles, that's what you're saying.
No, this is not the circle of time cycling I'm talking about. I'm talking about...
Is it like the circle of life?
What if we
And
could
it moves us
teleport? What if we could teleport to
can't.
13 point... No.
No.
What if we could?
You can't. That's the point. You can't. Basically...
No, you're just setting all these arbitrary rules.
That's the laws of physics!
Teleportation.
You can't. That's the whole point. There's something called a light cone, which basically means things cannot travel faster than the speed of light. So, if something happens over there...
in real life, but theoretically,
No.
you could.
No, you can't.
You put ourselves on the direction and we look 13 billion years in the other direction, what? We look back on ourselves?
You're talking about, so if you're saying there's people there now having this conversation.
Imagine if instead
But
we
it's
were at
also
that
looking
point.
back in time. That's the other difference. Because it's taken 13.7 billion years
exactly.
for the light to get here. So what you're looking at is 13.7 billion years
Right,
old
so if
and
you're looking at the first planet formed after the Big Bang, right? And there was light,
Big Bang.
the Big Bang.
But
Tell us more about the Big Bang.
And there's,
I wanna hear about that.
those people are looking at $13 billion years in the past,
I want to hear about this.
right? How do you know they won't see something?
Big Bang.
How do you know they won't see something?
I don't understand the question. What's the question?
The first planet that had life after the Big Bang, right? Let's say that was 13 billion years ago.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was like 5 billion years ago. Because 13.7 billion years ago...
You're saying that they wouldn't be able to see 13 billion years in the future, even though they're $5 billion, 5 billion years, 5 billion years in the past.
No, they'd be able to see something that was 5 billion years across. 5 billion light years across, because they were 5 billion years ago. So the universe...
So they could see before the Big Bang started.
No, you can't see before the Big Bang.
How do you know? Were you there 5 billion years ago to say that?
No.
Were you afraid? Let's get to the bottom of it.
Actually, I was.
Oh!
What a stupid question. You can't see
Exactly.
past the
So
Big
this
Bang.
is what this science trying to...
No,
define.
this is you thinking that science will provide some of the answers to, like, the really deep and meaningful questions, but it can't. So you were like, oh, science lied to me. I thought it would prove or disprove the existence
Right.
of God.
So
and give me the
I'd
meaning of life. It's not
I'd
gonna
rather
do that.
science treated their idea of the universe as just being another
As a
galaxy,
theory?
the galaxy that formed, not the universe as in the infinite.
No,
everything
you're misinterpreting the definition. You're using your definition of the galaxy.
What's the word for everything?
The observable universe.
That's what they call it.
That's what you call it. What we
Right, so
can
that's
see.
what they should... Brian Cook should say the heat death of the observable universe, not the heat death of the
No,
universe.
because you would assume that this heat death concept. Because I was saying, it
so
doesn't.
that's people. The normies that are watching this on ABC on Sunday's Best don't get that.
This is why Brian Cox.
And
this
this
is
is-
why I like Brian Cox, because he's like, it's
Exactly,
it's a
and
bit
he's
candy-coloured.
empowering religion by saying, "Well, that
No,
it just doesn't."
no,
He's doing the opposite.
He's
He's
making
making a
logical
false-
sense.
He's making a false religion of this is the universe. This is how it works.
Exactly.
You know, this
So
is
you're
science.
empowering it by saying, "Oh, there is exact boundaries in science," but there's not.
But in
Science is just what we observed and calculated. That's it.
Yeah, that is it. But
Yeah.
if you should realise that. Science doesn't pretend.
People
that
watch
it's
the
doing
Brian Cox show and they say, well, that's BS. It's more logical that someone created this than it just happened, and there's, it's going to die, and there's nothing going to happen after that for the infinite of time.
But there's all sorts of crazy theories about the universe as like bubbles expanding and contracting in like this multi-dimensional space.
Yeah, well, he needs to get into that more.
Those are things.
At the moment, he's empowering religion by just having this...
No, he's not empowering.
See what he says about
He's not
that.
empowering religion.
Oh, he is.
Christianity's saying this is 6,000 years old.
Christianity is going up in the US, not down, despite science.
That's not science's fault.
Yes, it is.
I don't think that's
in this day and
Cox's
age.
fault.
So you're going to blame Brian Cox
Yes,
for the rise of
I'm
religion?
blame that.
He's an agnostic, though.
It's like saying Richard Dawkins is like, he can't provide all the answers, so everyone's going to go to Christianity, so he's fueling Christianity. I don't think that's true.
No, he just should define, sit there and go, well, this is what we think in science, rather than...
That's
he
implicit.
talks on those documentaries in so definitive terms, like this is how it is.
Well,
And people reject it.
Yeah, but the people who reject it aren't...
And I think they're logically sound to reject it.
They're not.
Brian Cox got me really pumped and made me want to do physics. I
Yeah.
haven't actually done it.
But you're not a normie.
Not at all like Brian Cox makes it out to be.
What's that?
It's not at all like Brian Cox makes it out to be.
He
I
makes
don't
it
just
out
like
to be
hang out on
really
a beach
sexy.
and like, yeah.
And romantic.
Not everyone knows.
Do you
Fred
vote
Sinf
for Labour
like-
or Liberal?
I vote Greens.
Exactly. So we're talking about what do Labour and Liberal voters think.
I vote Labour.
Fred, you're crazy. You're insane.
Do you hate gay people?
Doesn't
You
matter
hate
who I-
gay
doesn't-
people.
doesn't matter
You
who I-
hate gay people. You're
doesn't
a
matter-
racist.
You hate gay people
Doesn't
and
matter
people.
who I vote
You're
for. 'cause
racist,
Julia
you
Bishop is
support-
going to get in, so I just vote
No.
for the most.
No, that's why they get in, because of people like you who sit there and go, oh, it doesn't matter who I vote for, I'm just going to vote for Labour because that's it. I can't be bothered trying to change
Sometimes
the
the
world.
Greens annoy me.
And
a
now
little bit.
you're supporting, now you're anti-gay people, you're you're racist because you're anti-refugees,
Now-
you're the worst person on earth. Because you don't put any thought into your decision as a democracy. This is why democracies, the mediocre wins democracies, because it's like, oh, I can't be bothered. And that's how it is that, 16 million of our 20 million Australia vote and go, oh, I can't be bothered, and then vote for just one of the major parties, and they don't care. And this is why our country sucks.
Well, that's your opinion.
No, that is the truth.
Is that Brian Cox's truth?
Yeah.
That sounds like a bit of a Coxy truth. Big Cox.
Yeah, like the Greens have got all the answers. I don't know. I might vote for. I don't think I voted for them in the Senate, but like I don't know.
The Greens.
Sometimes they're a bit too.
Your vote
like,
goes nowhere.
Oh, what? A bit too. We've got a plan and
But
we've
do
got an
they?
agenda.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's sort of like
Okay,
let's
Labour,
try to make
recently
everything
Labour's
awesome.
gone really a bit shit. I will admit that, but I don't know. I don't know what the Greens' plans are.
Why don't you read about it?
Just, take like half an hour instead of going on Boing Boing. Just read like or
Greens
going on Reddit.
manifesto.
Just check out the Greens, like
Yeah.
what they want, what
Or
they're
the
about.
policy?
It's like
What is their policy?
okay regarding boat people. They're human beings. Let's treat them like human beings.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really. This might not. I don't care about the boat people. I don't want it to be an issue. I'm not going to vote on boat. What the
Okay,
boat
well, if
people.
you don't care,
'Cause I
it's-
don't care. It should just go away.
Okay.
It's like 100, 200 people a year.
Yeah, that's right.
Who
So if
cares?
it's not an
So
issue,
I don't
vote
care
for
if-
the Greens. Okay,
Right, so you're
supporting.
supporting,
my
but you're
guide.
supporting a party. If you want it to go away, then don't vote for a party that puts it as one of their major issues.
That was the first issue Campbell came up with when he was talking
That is
about
the
the
first
Greens,
issue I
was
came
boat
up with.
people.
Greens,
Well, that's what
So
I'm
it's a
starting
huge
with.
issue for everyone. So
What's
I don't
starting
care.
with?
I'm not
Because you
basing-
voted Labour. That's why I'm saying.
I'm
this,
not basing any of my voting choices on boat people because I don't care.
Fred. Okay.
Because I don't think it's an issue. So I don't.
Okay. So
care what
gay
either party
marriage. They'd like.
why have you
Gay people
all
should get
people,
married.
Fred? Greens are like, let's invest in science and build an industry around that and build our economy around that. You're sitting there going,
The Greens are all
voting
about.
for Labour,
I
who's
just
just like,
got
let's
the feeling
prop up
that there's
old
some-
industries that don't need science anymore. And
Yeah, the Greens
It's
are all about
crazy.
new technology, new industry. They're all about.
What about the
obviously-
carbon tax?
They're all about the carbon tax.
no, they're
It says
anti-carbon
Labour.
tax.
Yeah. Why are they anti-carbon tax?
Because the carbon tax at the moment is bullcrap. It
Well,
doesn't
they're
help
pushing
either
for our
side.
Carbon tax.
But I can't put my finger on it. I thought the Greens were.
I'm not trying to get you to vote for Greens, Fred. I'm just
They're
trying to not vote you a major party first preference because you say nothing. If you you can say whether you prefer Labour or Liberal on the 16th and 15th preference or whatever by that method.
I'm a big fan of unionism.
I vote Greens, but they're anti-nuclear. I'm pro-nuclear, right? So I pick a pro-nuclear party, first, or in my preferences, to say what my opinion is. They look at the results and say, oh, well, people like us, but they're pro-nuclear and they're not voting for us. So next election, they'll change and say, okay, we will take into consideration clean nuclear options, right, when we do it.
I think that's bullshit. The Greens will never, ever... I'm pretty sure they might have even stated.
Well, this is what we're talking about before the show. How a party needs to form that is not green, but has the sensibility of the Green Party.
So
that's why I use my preference, saying, okay, I'm supporting the Greens, but give my preference to teams that are sensible, right? But I'm not going to go vote for the McDonald's and the Hungry Jacks when there's all these better restaurants out there.
Look, I basically feel the difference between Liberal and Labor is token. It's a token.
It's Hungry Jacks and McDonald's, and there's so many better places to get food.
I think their policies, all of their attitudes, they're both so vitriolic, those parties, and venomous and horrible that, and I think it's just two sides of the same coin.
I mean,
you vote for one, you might as well vote for the other.
Ideologically, we got Kevin Rudd who sits there and go, let's make Australia a better place. Let's apologise to Aborigines. Let's put the NBN into place, and he got kicked out by his own party.
Yeah.
But that was
and he wanted to push a mining tax.
Yeah.
But that was a political manoeuvre, right?
Right, so why am I going to support a party that did that to Kevin Rudd?
But they did it because no one wanted him. The
people voted for him overwhelmingly. He won that election definitively if he was in power. He was the only democratic leader who led a country to avoid the GFC.
But that's
and suddenly he was kicked out. That's in unfathomable in politics, man. He would have got in with 100% like a majority.
No, but that's
insane
because they kicked him out because the polls were so low. They were like, it was like 20%.
The polls are probably the murder. How do you trust the polls? Who's running the polls, Fred? You have no idea. There's no way he would have gone out. He was the only leader in the free world who got through the GFC.
Yeah, but you got to remember at that time.
Claimed. They claimed that John Howard set it up so that we wouldn't. It's like that's a bullshit.
Yeah, but you got to remember at that time the mining industry was putting such pressure and such negative spin on his efforts to put in a mining tax.
Clive Palmer did with his CIA thing, the old switcheroo?
No,
I thought it was quite crazy because there was some person. Oh, maybe I shouldn't talk about this because I don't know the facts.
No, talk about it. I don't know.
Basically, there was going to be an investigation into one of his people or some crap like that. So he came out and said, the CIA is in cahoots with the Greens over the mining tax. They're pushing it. So everybody turned around and went, what the hell are you talking about? And there were all these news stories like, that's bullshit. This isn't true. And then he came out later, and as far as I can tell, turned around and said, yeah, I just said that to get off this guy's case. It was just a total political maneuver.
I totally believe it.
Wow. That's pretty...
Welcome to politics, Fred.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty crazy there.
Been there before. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty impressive manoeuvre.
Anyway, I like the Greens. I think. They've got a plan. That's what I say.
Speaking of politics,
I just figured they were a bunch of...
And campaign.
Yeah, but what's wrong with hippies, man?
Think about it. I don't think things.
When's Vagin around going to start?
I don't know. You got to talk to the ladies.
What's the thrash paddock?
Well, I don't think they're going to use either of those names.
That's the first step.
Is local member of parliament Julia Bilcott's going to be on it?
Well, they might need to send an email.
Bishop on it.
Get the bish down in the pad. Give her a thrash.
Talk to the girls, but change the name. That'd be my
No. They're gonna pick the name. They need to pick the name. Otherwise, that's a deal breaker. They're not going to go on a show called Vagin Around or anything.
Or even Thrash Paddock. It's probably too risky.
I'm very carefully considering the topics that I should veto on the...
You can't, though.
No, they don't need any...
You can't? What are you going to sit there in the corner and just be like, no, what are the topics?
Next!
Just turn down mics.
I'll be putting it up. I'll edit it out, yeah.
What, topics like what? You? What if they talk about you?
Oh, they can talk about me. I just don't want them talking about...
Is that all they can talk
menstrual
about?
cycles? I mean, what's your...
I don't. Just stuff that's not of the value of Jim and Shafam.
What are your values?
Yeah. Oh, this is bullshit. This is new Fairfax.
Why? That's
I didn't realize it was going to be censored. I thought this was free.
Yeah.
This is bullshit.
Well, it's going to be live to air. It's going to be uncensored live to air, but, you know,
What,
when it
but then
goes
it's
up...
censored
online-
for the package for the public.
Yeah.
Bleep all the swear words.
Oh, I don't know about this.
Oh, I'm
So I
not gonna
can't
take a swear
editorialise
words.
anymore.
I give you free
I'm
reign,
worried.
Fred.
I'm worried.
Yeah, I'm a little bit
What's
worried
actually
now.
going to air? What do the people actually hear? I haven't downloaded
You
one.
can
of
record it on TuneIn to get the app.
I'm going to have to listen to one
Yeah.
and remember what I
It'll just be
actually said.
James talking. It'll be turned into a monologue.
Well, I don't add anything in. I just take stuff out.
Oh.
The risque stuff?
Yeah, what stuff? The stuff we'll
No,
give
it's
you.
an example of something you'd edit out.
The times when we disagree with you and make
Well,
lots of
stuff
sense
that's
and you
just
make
not
no sense.
contextually relevant that people don't understand. Thanks for joining us on Fang Around. This has been James
Campbell.
Brad.
We'll see you guys on the flip side.